Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Bella here from Rachel and Bella Crafts, and I've just come on to show you how to stitch your signatures into your slow stitch book. But first of all, I want to welcome any new subscribers, and thank you for subscribing, and for those of you that leave comments and a like, and also to those that you watch it. I know some of you watch it on your TV, and then you're unable to to leave a like or a comment. I do appreciate that as well. So I'm a little bit remiss in saying that, so I'm sorry about that, but I know that you are watching, and I thank you very much, all of you. Right, so without a further ado, I've been out today and I've been to Hobbycraft down in Newport, and I bought some lovely needles, and this one is a darner, and I think this is the one I'm using. It's got a big eye. So I don't know whether you can see that. And it's quantity 10, size 1 to 5. That's the darner there. And this is a darner as well. And I've chosen these especially for slow stitching because they've got a nice big head and are usually bigger than the thread that's going through the bigger needles, because they go down from 3 to 9. So I presume that's the 9. I don't know which way it goes. It could be they go from 9 to 3. I'm not sure. But anyway, they've got a lovely big eye on them, and hopefully they're nice and sharp. I've already threaded that one up. So there's 3 to 9, and there's size 1 to 5. For those ladies that live in the UK, that's in B&Q. No, not B&Q. Hobbycraft. I haven't been to B&Q. Anyway, it took me a little while to get these lined up yesterday, because I was sitting in the living room because it was so dark in here yesterday. I thought I just can't stand how dark it is in here. But guess what happened first thing today? Before I went out to town, they took the scaffold down. Yay! So hopefully we'll have a bit more light. It's late afternoon now. It's 5:05, so it's not as bright as it was this morning. And the wall that they built on the right hand side, they're willing to paint it white for me, so that should reflect more light in again. But the tree that they had the scaffold through will have to be trimmed right back, because the one side of it isn't looking very happy. So, but they've offered to do that as well. So good job he didn't complain, wasn't it? So there we go. So now what I'm doing now, I put my knot in, and I'm going to sew all the way down here like we did on this one. If I could just stretch and show you a moment. And all that is a back stitch, and I've got double cotton, as you can see, it's double thread. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can do this now without making a mess of it. So let's do smaller stitches, try and keep them. I'm going to go back here. What did I do on that first one? Let's have a look. Yeah, I did go back, look. So I haven't missed a stitch, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to go back through here. It took me a while to get these lined up. I'm trying to bring it out in the same place. These needles are quite bendy actually. But of course I've got a pin in the way, haven't I? So that's that. And that did go over the top of the knot, so it's a good start, isn't it? There we go, that's it. Right, now, because I've done it like that, let's flip it over. And in a moment, I'm going to be able to take the pin out. Sorry, I'm at a funny angle. I think I'm going to have to go back and forth. Oh, I can see, I remember how I done it now, how I did it. So I'm going back up here, look. But I'm going to go back and forth because it will be easier on my hand, I think. These are quite bendy, these, and I'm not sure yet whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And the thing is, if I make a mess of it, all I've got to do is pull it back out. So don't be afraid of it. If it's not in the right place where you want it, it's meant to be messy, isn't it? We're doing a messy slow stitch book. So don't panic. Okay. I'm trying to remember how I did it before, because I notice I've missed a stitch there, but that's not a problem. I can always go and put a stitch back in that, can't I? So you're just going to have to fiddle about. The pin is in my way at the minute. Oh, if I turn around that way, it'd be easier, wouldn't it? I can feel it with my thumb then. Okay, and I'm going slightly up past the bottom of the stitch there. I'm going, it's not a what do you call it? Stem stitch. If it is, then I'm surprised because I can't do a stem stitch properly. Stem stitch would be smaller stitches, obviously. But it doesn't matter how messy it is, as long as we get it sewn in. And we'll have a look in a minute, because I'm not sure whether I'm missing something. No, there we go. It's looking okay. I quite like the look, so I'm quite happy with that. I may have to rethread. I don't think I've got enough thread on my needle. I hope you're all getting on well with your books, those of you that are stitching along with me. There's a lot of white on this table today on my desk, so I hope it's not bleaching out. All right, so you're getting the idea anyway. And I'm doing it quickly because of the time element. Now, I'm going to have to turn it over now because we're coming to the butterfly on the other side. What's my needle now? Where's he gone? There he is. So let me just flip it over a minute. Now, for some unknown reason there, I've missed a stitch. What didn't I do then? How silly is that? I should have practiced this, shouldn't I? But anyway, you get to see the mistakes and everything, don't you, with me? There's no getting away from it. And it won't matter because it'll keep it in. Now, if I go back down to here, that's it. Now, the only problem with this now is that we're going to have stitches here. So I should have really stitched them in before I did that, shouldn't I? But I couldn't. There was no way that I could do that. So the only thing I can think to do is to come up here like this, go back down and do like an invisible stitch, and I can do it from the other side. Well, I'll have to take the pin out because it won't bend. All right. I'm going back down into the stitch that I was doing. I'm trying to keep this straight now. That's not too bad. And then I can go back up the other side then and not come through here. I hope I'm making myself clear. Yeah, I think that's okay. Looks quite complicated, doesn't it? But it isn't really. But if you haven't got this hanging over, yours will be easier. So bear that in mind, Brenda. Bear that in mind when you're making yours. Whatever you put on the front, make it easy for yourself to sew in your signature. Because you could always stitch it. But the canvas is very, very tough. And I wouldn't have been able to stitch this on once I've sewn the signatures in. Do you know what I mean? Now I've just got plain stitches here. Sorry, I'm quiet, but I am concentrating. Now I'm going to finish this off, if I can. Get my needle through that loop there so it's a knot. Yes, there we go. And I'm going to take it back through to the other side because it won't show in there, and I'm going to cut it off. Right. The other one's not going to be so bad because it's going to be down here, look. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here. And it doesn't have to go all the way through because we have stitched it in. It's all right, I'm having trouble getting the needle through for some reason. And we got the knot this side, but it doesn't really matter. I quite like it, so I'm going to do a big knot there, I think. This is hemp that I'm trying to get this through. This is why it's, that's why I said to you before, this material. And I'm pushing it down onto the table to try and get the needle through. It's very tough. That's the only thing when you're using 2 strands. So if you use floss instead, you might find it easier, all right? Now I'm not going through to the other side. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. I'm not going through here because I don't want the stitches to be across there, okay? And the scruffier the better. It's my lovely doily I found there. Oh, it really is messy now, isn't it? But I'm not bothered. I don't mind at all. I'm only going through a couple of layers, all right? I haven't gone right through to the front. There we go. That's okay. I'm not worried about that bit there. If I was that bothered, I would go back up, and you could always thread it if I was really bothered, look, and I'd miss some. I could thread it through like that and go back up. These needles are strange. They're very thin. Now if I come out there, and then I'll cover the gaps by doing that. Where there's a will, there's a way. If I catch a little thread there, that will stay up there. No. And then there won't be a gap. And I have to press it down on the table because it's so tough. There. Okay, so that's our nice messy line. And I could go up a bit further if I wanted to. Join all that up. I hope I'm on screen. There we go. Sorted. Quiet, aren't I? Tell I'm concentrating, can't you? Right, I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to wrap that around twice, and then that will make a knot, and then she's finished. Okay? And that's as messy as I want to make it. I could have another thread there, couldn't I? That's it. That'll finish that off nicely. So we need to do the other one now, and let's hope it's not as painful as that one. It shouldn't be, because if I can find the middle, that is. There we go. There. So if we start it there and the pins are going in the right direction, let's get my thread. I was thinking of doing it in different colours, but if it had been 3, I could have done like I did with the other one, had white down the middle and then the brown, but I'm just going to stick to the brown at the moment. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer, but it may come up in your face. So now, where did I throw the needle in? Oh no, I put it up here. It's all right. I was a good girl then. I put in my pincushion. Right. Made this one a little bit longer. Hopefully it'll go the length of it. And let's see what mess I can make of this. That was a little bit painful for you. I'm sorry about that. But my hands don't work as well as yours probably will. Move the needles out of the way, and there's a pin there. I don't lose that. Excuse me. Now, if you want it on the outside, let me just try and get it in the right place. Spot on. Lovely. And what she's done is they're quite sharp. Now, let's see if I can do it now without making gaps. I hope this is not too painful for you to watch. No, I thought it was a knot in there, but there isn't. It's because I've got double cotton. That's what's giving me the problem. Okay, so try and get it up as near to where you want it. And I'll check in a moment to see if I'm okay. No, it's because I can't bend. No, trying to get it out of this ridge here. Look, I don't want it to go into that other one there. So I'm trying to keep it as flat as I can. So bear that in mind. I know this is a bit painful for you to watch, but it will be good for you to see if this is how you want to do yours. You could, I guess, stitch the... seem to be going away from my pin, don't I? It's because the pin is in the way, that's what it is. You could machine stitch them if you wanted to, before you actually sewn the signatures together outside before you put the cover on. You could do it that way. Just want to see where I'm going now. I think that's okay. I think that's all right. I've gone over the top there, haven't I? But I'm not worried about that because it's on the back. All right, girls? So I know you're probably shouting at me saying you've gone over your butterfly, but I really don't care about that. It's got to go up there. So I'm not bothered about the butterfly being disturbed. Might be easier to do it from this side. So when you're using these books, they're floppy, so make use of the floppiness and flick them around so they go where you want them, you know. I've got to keep moving mine because I want to make sure I'm in the camera. Now I've hit something stiff there. Yes. Yanking away I am. Now I'm going to come back up there because that's not messy enough for me. All right. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. As long as this bit's not disturbed, where I could have gone over the top of it on reflection. Yes, I could have done actually. And I may still do that. I may go back over and do that at another time. but I'm giving you alternatives, okay? But just remember when you're stitching them, not to forget what's on the front of your cover that, you know, would be a bit awkward to stitch around. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. And I've been shopping and been out for the day with my husband, which was lovely. But I was born in Newport in South Wales, but it's altered so much now. It's gone very modern, and there were always beautiful architectural buildings in Newport, but they've gone completely the other way. And I can't honestly say that I've enjoyed the architecture's ideas. A lot of black and white they've used down there, and I was really disappointed when I went down to see it. My daughter told me that about the indoor market, that they revamped it, and I thought, oh, let's go and have a look then. But I was disappointed because it was all foodies. Now, if you go to the one in Swansea, any of you, if you live near Swansea, you will know how lovely that market is. They've kept it as it was. There's more eating places in there, but they've done it so beautifully. But you've still got your haberdasheries in there, you've still got your butchers in there, and you've still got your veg shops in there, whereas none of that I couldn't find anything in the market at all. I was really, really disappointed. I'm moaning now, aren't I? But I'm not moaning about the scaffold, I'm moaning about the market. Sorry about that. Right, so I need some more cotton, and that's how I like it, like that. The messier the better. So on reflection, I don't know what you think. I think we may as well have gone down there, but it's not going to show. And I think actually with the butterfly going over there like that, I think maybe I was right, but I'll live with it for a bit and see what I think. You can let me know what you think. And what I think is my tablecloth is sliding off the... I hope I've been on screen now. I've gone up a bit too high now, haven't I? So I'll bring it back down. I can just about see you in my my camera. I love this lace. It's beautiful, isn't it? They've got lovely big eyes, these needles. I know they were a bit bendy, but the cotton's going through really well. Thread, cotton, whatever you want to call it. And after I've done this, then I'll show you what I've done to finish off the book. Okay? But I thought you may want to see me doing this, stitching it in. Now, I'll show you that in a moment. I'm going to sidetrack again. Let me just finish this off now. Where are we? This one here. There. Silly Billy, lost my place. Right, I'm going to come up. I think I'll come up there, and then I shouldn't miss there. That's it. So I've got my knot on the other side. Okay. I can take that pin out, can't I? And I could take that one out now. Just try and go in a straight line. But I'm not going to worry about that either. This is going a bit quicker now. We've got plenty of cotton on there now, so we should be okay now. This one is too tidy, really, isn't it? Compared to the other one I did. That was really messy. But not to worry. Good job I turned it over then, wasn't it? So, one of them didn't quite pull through, I don't think, but never mind, I'm not going to worry about it. As I said, I spoke too soon. The messier the better. Right. Oh, I'm so pleased the scaffold is down. It's made such a difference, honestly. It's not so much the light. Well, it was the light, but it was depressing. It was making me sad. And I knew that the magnolia tree was dying, and that was upsetting me as well. But I'm sure that I've looked it up on the internet, and it does say now, midsummer to beginning of autumn, you can prune them hard, the magnolia trees. I don't know whether you knew that, but that's what I've discovered, and I hope they're right. And my husband was actually talking to the builder today, and he said, oh, don't worry, we'll come and do that. So I hope they make a good job of it, because it is absolutely beautiful. Really is beautiful. I'm going to go down there. Now, what have I done there? Why have I done that? That was talking, look. Doesn't matter, I'll just go back up. Now we discovered we can do that. My cloth is coming off, sorry. That's okay. I think I'll go through there, I think. Because we want it messy, don't we? Well, I do anyway. I think it all adds texture and it looks hand sewn. Because that's what you're doing. You're looking for the hand sewn effect. Because all you're looking for is texture. You're making marks with your cotton, the threads. And I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. I'll just cut the loop and we'll have a couple of threads sticking there instead. Nearly done. And then I can show you the book then. Lovely. That's it. That's great. Exactly how I wanted it. I know some of you may be cringing and thinking, what is she doing? But that's how we like to do it with a slow stitch. That's how I like to do it with a slow stitch. I keep getting these little... Oh, there we go. That's it. Done. Now what I thought I'd do here... There, that's better. Better than the loop. The messier the better. All right. So let's have a look through. I think I'm in screen. Let me just come down a little bit. There we go. Put my scissors over there out of the way. Right, so that's the cover. And as I say, I haven't done that yet, but I quite like that actually. So I may go back over. The only thing that prevented me from doing that was because I've got the cross stitches. So, but it does look a little bit strange. So we'll see. We'll see what we think. So that's the inside. I put this lace on the inside. I don't know whether you've seen that bit or not. I don't think you did. You may have done, I don't know. And I put this tulle here, and it's got like a little dot on it. And I put two crosses on there on some crocheted lace there. And you've seen this one. I put the tab on here. Don't forget, girls, you can put tabs on the end of your slow stitching as well as on your pages, your paper pages, okay? That's the back end. That's that one I showed you. That's that. That's the inside. Isn't that lovely? I love that. I really love that. Stitching on here, and I love the knots. I've got the French knots on there. And I haven't done any stitching on there because I quite liked it. I have done some cream stitching down there, which you can see here. All right. And then I put that on there with some very pale cotton, which I put away somewhere. Okay, and that's that one. That was one of the ones I did in the beginning. Okay, I did stitch that down yesterday because it was flicking up, and I thought, no, that's going to annoy me. So I just thought I'll put some pink across there, and it adds more texture on this page as well. I don't think you've seen me doing this one. I put that one on, and I put this on. You saw me stitching all the way around, and you saw me doing that, I think. And that is the back of that. That's the back of this, and it's lovely and messy, and I love it. Okay. And I did some embroidery on there, which wasn't brilliant, but it's done. I did attempt to do it. So you have a go. You'll probably be better at it than me because my fingers let me down, but there we go. And this is the last, but one, no, it isn't the last page. And I did this, I cut out a circle out from that blouse that I had. Then I cut out another circle on this. Don't be afraid to cut up your strips, your trims. And I cut out a circle there, and then I put the button on. I've sewn it on with green cotton, and I've done that down there with you just now. There's that lovely stitch in there, and that's what I've just used here. Where was it? On the front, sorry. Those two there are from this, is what I had left over, all right? So they've been stitched there. That's off the baby's dress that I have. I had two of them, if you remember, and I've used that. And there's all this lovely stitching on this side. I didn't want to put any colour in that. I just wanted it to stay neutral, that one. But you can please yourselves. That one's got just stitching from this side, and I think that looks lush. I love it. All right. Hope you can see it all. So that's the last page, and that's got the paper on it. And I've done the stitching down there in green. And I did stitch this on yesterday. If you'd seen me doing it, it was a scream because this was quite tough. That's why I didn't do it on camera, because my fingers are really sore now. And I've just stitched that round with an invisible stitch. That's, I don't know whether you can see that. That has got stitch in there. All right. But you won't see it on this side. And it took me ages to try and get through just this part here, because that was glued down, if you remember. Okay, but I did do it. It was hard, but I did it. So there she is. So I hope you like her. And she's looking very nice on the edge in there. And she's looking very nice from whatever end you look at it. And it feels absolutely lovely. So I hope you go ahead and make one. This is the second one while I'm thinking. I did do this yesterday. If you remember, that was the first page there, on there. And I've opened it out so you can see it. You saw that, I think, already. You've seen this already. And I did do that yesterday. And I've done some little cross stitches there in the netting, in the lace, sorry. And this is the blouse that I cut up. And that's printed onto fabric. And that's how she looks, that side and there. And I've got rows and rows and rows of stitch in there, because this was part of the blouse, which has got sort of netting on it, but I didn't want it flimsy. This is still loose. I wanted that loose, but I did want to pin that down. And I don't mind that you can see, you can actually see through that. You won't be able to, but I can. And I don't mind that because it's all adding texture. And I love the rows at the back there. So I've made a start on the second one. I won't be doing this one on camera, but when she's completed, I will show you. I'll do a flip through for you if you want me to. And that was a handkerchief that Brenda sent me in that wonderful parcel that she sent me. And I put that in as a page there, look, just as a page. That also was what Brenda sent me. And I cut a piece off the tray cloth, and that's in there ready for me to stitch in. And the rest of the pages are waiting to be completed. All right, so that's the second book. And this one is now finished. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm all ready now for tomorrow for our first, now what's it called? Flowers Magic Art Festival. Flowers Magic Art Festival. I showed you the art journal that I altered. It's up already. I've done that and I've shown you that. So I'm just waiting now for the ladies to start. And Roxy Creations is in it, and lots of other people that I don't know yet, but I'm sure they're going to be wonderful. And I've been out and I've bought some wonderful brushes today, which I'll show you in another video if I do any painting. And I watched a video today showing how to paint flowers, and she said buy a filbert brush, and I'll do a bit of that on screen maybe next week. So that's all for now, folks, and thank you if you stayed with me, and I hope you like her. So I shall say goodbye now, and take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow starts Saturday, so have a wonderful weekend. Take care, everybody.